you've got to stop. You never know. What we can tell you, and again, Sean mentioned having spoken to people in situations like this, it is very difficult for emotion and logic to occupy the same space at the same time.
Yes, sir.
So for those of you tuning in and saying, why isn't he or she doing this, or why is this going this way, we can probably tell you with some degree of certainty that that's not exactly the same train of thought that this driver is having.
And again, the vehicle is allegedly stolen. The person who allegedly stole the vehicle never thinks about the possibility of this happening before they make the decision to carry out the act. They don't think about the chase that could come, Steve.
Yeah, and we also don't know what else may or may not have happened. We don't know how the stolen vehicle report was first filed. We don't know if it was a carjacking or if it was somebody who just left their vehicle open and the keys accessible.
Right.
So we probably are only getting a part of the story here.
Yes.
In terms of exactly knowing what is motivating this person. Let's hope not, but it is entirely possible that the car chase piece of this story is the least of this person's concerns.
But what we can tell you is the speeds have at least touched 80 miles an hour or so. We can tell you that the driver of that yellow car managed to elude stop sticks thrown by the Dallas Sheriff's Department, it appears, at least once. At times, a few times, especially when they were in southern Dallas County, the speeds slowed to approximately 30, 35 miles an hour.
Okay, so we are getting unconfirmed reports now that witnesses and scanner traffic say that this is a woman driving this car, that there are no other occupants. I don't know if we can work to try and confirm that, but again, unconfirmed reports right now that there is a single occupant in this vehicle. It is only the driver, and that driver is female. We are working right now to try and confirm that information for you.
Not to cut you off, but you have an officer now getting in front of her. You have two getting in front of the driver. And I will say some of our most prolific chases in North Texas have had women behind the wheel.
Oh, yeah.
We've had three of those where women were the drivers. So we'll see. Now, they're trying to get ahead of her. Maybe we'll see what they plan to do.
Okay, and we can assume now that the police drivers who have gone now in front of this vehicle are doing so in an effort for some sort of maneuver to bring this to an end.
So she's still coming north, and as she comes north, once she gets past, let's say, the Martin Luther King exit, you've got to make some decisions about Central Expressway or Cesar Chavez into downtown. You've got to make a decision there which way you're going, and they want to get in front of her.
All right, let's recap for folks what we do know at this point. You are looking live at video coming to us courtesy of Sky 4. This is a police chase that began in Fort Worth. We're told with a report of a stolen vehicle. That vehicle, the yellow car you see on the left-hand side of your screen. We do have unconfirmed witness and scanner traffic reports that this is a female driver in this car, and that at this point there have not been any other occupants identified inside the vehicle. This started with Fort Worth PD giving chase to this vehicle starting close to downtown. This has extended through Arlington, Grand Prairie, heading eastbound. We are, of course, now well into Dallas. This driver did get off the highway, and it looks like we're getting over to the side of the road here, possibly to exit again. Or it looks like maybe we're just maneuvering around. The driver did at one point get off the highway, get off I-20 and over onto Dowdy Ferry. Then, of course, driving through that neighborhood for a little while before now getting back on the highway. You're looking at live pictures over I-45 northbound at this point.
And as we continue to speculate, let me just say it is kind of unusual for a woman to steal a car. That being said, this is allegedly a stolen car, a possible stolen car. But for women to steal cars is a little unusual. Not that it doesn't happen or can't. That's typically not the crime of choice for women.
Sure.
Steve Noviello.
Sure. Again, we are working to confirm the gender of the driver. Again, we're being told right now that this is a female driver behind the wheel in this police chase that has been going on for almost about an hour now at this point. When we have watched these many times before, you never know what it is that's going to kick in at some point where the driver decides either that they don't want to or they simply cannot continue on any longer. What we can tell you is that law enforcement in this case has assisted requested or has requested spike and stop strip help. That means that it is possible that there will be some sort of maneuver on the highway to stop this driver.
Well, we
saw that
at least one attempt, right? And we've seen deputies on the side of the road as they've traveled north on 45 trying to get in position to spike this car, but they've not had success yet. Yeah, we've seen 2 attempts.
2 attempts, we're being told so far, to try and spike this car. And again, that's a very delicate thing to have to choreograph here on the highway with other vehicles, with other drivers, safety being, of course, a concern here, that officers have to be able to successfully stop this vehicle without it doing any damage and harm to any other vehicle.
So I've never been on northbound Central Expressway past Woodall Rogers at 115 and not encountered traffic. Let's see what happens as the driver continues north.
Yeah, so we are still on I-45 at this point. But again, you're exactly right, Sean. I mean,
they're heading to Central Expressway.
Sure. So we're at 115 here. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, being a frequent traveler of that.
As you can see where the driver is now, there's where 30 comes in right there. They're headed towards Central Expressway. And as you know, that's always just past the Bryan Street exit. Here's the traffic that I told you is always there.
Yep.
It's always there. It's always clogging. And let's see what kind of skills this driver has at this moment. The police are right behind her now. One unit right behind her. Oh, she squeezes there.
Yeah, so this may be, hopefully, the beginning of the end here.
So they're listening to the siren on the squad car, and people are moving, which is giving the driver in the yellow car egress.
The ability to go on past, because,
Yes.
of course, the other drivers on the highway, traffic or not, are doing what they can to stay out of the way of not only the driver of the yellow stolen car, as we're being told it's been reported, but, of course, the officers behind her as well.
Just past Hall and Lemon.
Okay, so
northbound on Central Expressway.
Right, so we are now moving to northbound on Central Expressway. Again, this is a tight area for a lot of folks, especially around this time of day. So we're going to be coming up on a much more populated area. Certainly the Haskell corridor over by the Target over there, Knox Henderson. There's going to be a lot more traffic to deal with as we continue now northbound on Central Expressway.
Right. Oh, we see a DSO unit, I think.
Okay, so now
traveling there.
Okay, so we're getting off at Haskell.
That's the Haskell Blackburn Fitzhugh exit.
This is the uptown section of Dallas. So you're going to pass City Place on the right-hand side of you. On the left-hand side, you're going to be looking at all of that new construction by the West Village that's over there. So this driver deciding to get off in a generally pretty busy part of town, especially midday. This is Fitzhugh
Coming up on
Avenue.
Fitzhugh. Let's see.
So that's that building you see on your
lane,
right.
But will they turn? They're in the turning lane and they turn right onto Fitzhugh.
Yeah, so that building you see on your right is City Place, that skyscraper there.
They've turned to the right.
So they've turned to the right. That's going to bring them down past where that Kroger and all of that new development, the Target is over there.
The Whataburger.
Yep.
All of that.
Okay, we
there
now
they
have
are.
eyes again. So this is
They're
now on the
passing
back
the
side,
Target
right?
now,
So the
kinda.
backside of Target, in between where that Target and the Kroger across the street are, that shopping center. So now we're going to be headed ultimately back down toward
East Dallas
to
now.
East Dallas,
Yeah.
right down to Ross Avenue.
That used to be a Dallas Housing Authority project right in there. That particular area.
This is an interesting choice. I mean, certainly there's going to be traffic on 75, but you've got to think that there's going to be a lot more obstacles in an area like this, particularly, again, this is a busy, a very densely populated both business and residential district.
And my guess is now you have officers trying to drop down to get in front of the car in the direction it's headed to meet them head on.
Certainly.
I think they would be trying to maneuver to get there.
The other advantage that police may have at this point is that there may already have been vehicles patrolling this area, and they may have a better position.
And it looks like they blow the intersection, though.
All right, this is that CVS, so that means we just crossed over Ross
Avenue.
And they're continuing down on, this is Haskell.
Yes. So they'll be heading into downtown Dallas in a minute.
Right. I mean, so you've crossed over Ross and you're continuing on Haskell. You can still see that police helicopter in close pursuit as it just flies right by in front of our vantage point from Sky 4. That's
Yes.
Bryan Boulevard. It looks like that they're just crossing now.
Yes. It's now 1:20 KDFW Dallas-Fort Worth, and let's see. They slow. There's traffic. They turn.
So
this could be it
this
now.
Could be it.
Let's see.
This
Let's
is
see.
Live
Let's see.
Oak
Let's see.
right here.
They're gonna.
I believe.
Let's see. The SUV kind of moves.
Okay, so
They're
this
on
is
Live Oak westbound, and there they go, like a running back looking for daylight.
Mm-hmm. So again, this chase becomes increasingly more difficult, not only for the driver of the vehicle, but also for law enforcement as well. As we travel through, we're now westbound on Live Oak. So you're going to be coming again back really right toward downtown Dallas.
Yes.
These folks are going to be at our doorstep any minute.
Absolutely. And you know, you can't underscore, especially now, the danger now in the inner city, compact, lots of traffic. You could also have foot traffic. None of that can be underscored enough at this moment. Blowing through intersections unless they're making all the lights, and you got to know they're going through some of these.
So this again, right now, we are headed on Live Oak, back down toward downtown Dallas. This is in East Dallas, technically, right by Baylor. So we're now really talking about a very congested area with the hospital over here,
Yes.
and all of the medical offices, and
Apartments.
everything else.
The schools that are there, the
Certainly.
seminary that's right there.
Coming up on Good
Criswell.
Latimer as this chase continues right now. This chase, of course, started in Fort Worth. So we've covered some ground here. Started, as we're told, possibly even in downtown Fort Worth, now heading toward downtown Dallas. Report of this yellow vehicle having been stolen, which caused police to take pursuit in Fort Worth and pick up not only some distance along the way, but quite a large police presence
Central
as well.
Expressway right there.
So we've
They're
made a
going
big loop
underneath.
here.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're now traveling
Coming into-
under the section of Central Expressway that this vehicle first came into Dallas as they head toward the downtown area. You can
Let's
see the
see.
vehicles on the
Vehicles
street
have stopped.
clearly having been alerted to what is going on here. So this is North Pearl Street.
Just crossed Pearl.
So we really are getting into the downtown Dallas area. So for those of you, we're just down from where the Arts District is. I believe that's the Sheridan Hotel there on the right-hand side. So you're making a left here. Yeah, that's
At
the
Olive?
Sheridan. This is Olive.
Harwood?
If that's the building that I'm thinking it is, I think we're about a block off.
Yeah. That looks like the Sheridan.
Right. So the Sheridan to your right-hand side, and then the ancillary building.
Conference Center to the
left. You're going to be crossing the DART tracks here in just a moment.
Now we don't see her.
So it looks like we've stopped here. I don't know if we can lose the banner here for a minute so we can see. Thank you. So we can see what's going on the screen.
Okay, so
Police
they're moving through,
still moving forward.
but we don't see the car anymore.
Right. This very bright yellow vehicle. So let's take a minute here.
Right, because I think police are asking where'd she go also at this moment.
Too. Okay, Skyford.
There's the car. There's the car.
The car now a couple of streets over. That's
Ross Avenue. They're right. She's just a couple of blocks that way.
Yeah, we can look outside and see her. So that's the church on the corner there.
The Methodist Church.
And now we're heading back toward the Arts District. So this is on Pearl Street. So you're going to be talking about heading toward uptown Dallas. Now, if you're talking about an area of town that has an incredible amount of foot traffic here, you might think, the smartest thing to do is going to be to hop on Woodall Rogers here
and try to
get
get
out
to
of Dodge.
35. Oh! That was almost the accident of the day. And that's one of the dangers. They blew through that light.
Yep.
And an unsuspecting citizen almost T-boned.
Yep. So now we're headed toward uptown, the uptown section of Dallas here. Northbound on Pearl Street. So we're going to be coming up on the Ritz-Carlton. The Crescent Hotel is right there on your right-hand side.
Is that McKinney?
So there's a few choices here. You can now take this toward the tollway. You can take it really toward downtown Dallas. So if you kept on going straight, you're talking about heading toward Victory Park at this point.
Yes. And we've lost because of some of the high-rises.
Line of sight, that's the Ritz-Carlton residences that you're looking at for those of you trying to get your bearings in downtown Dallas. The vehicle you should see pop out on the left-hand side of your screen at any moment. The nice thing for us, this is a brightly yellow-colored car and pretty easy to follow. Okay, it looks like police
And
continue
there
to
they go.
follow. Okay, so now we're heading toward the entrance to the tollway.
To the tollway,
is.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, DPS obviously controls the tollway, and so troopers are already engaged. It's likely their helicopter may be up as well. And let's see how this plays out. There's Wolf Street.
So this is right, Wolf Street, the high-rise, the Azure is right over here, and this is the entrance. You can see the lines. There you go. There's the North Dallas Tollway. So
Run into the toll road.
as we pick up this, almost the getting into the second hour here, this vehicle now headed northbound on the Dallas North Tollway. This first came in as a report of a stolen vehicle near downtown Fort Worth. Fort Worth police in pursuit for just over an hour now of this yellow vehicle. We have unconfirmed reports that there is a female driver in this car.
Possibly a stolen car.
Possibly a stolen car. We don't know about any other occupants.
Okay, DSO getting in front of her, or the driver, let's say. We believe it's a female. We've been told that according to scanner traffic, but not certain.
It looks like law enforcement here is ready for this to be over. I mean, we are really seeing a lot of these DSO vehicles get in front of the car, really, and we can only assume that that is as we head north on the tollway here, now to get in front of this vehicle and to perhaps lay some sort of stop device in the road to get her to stop.
They're probably going to try to spike her again, spike that driver again on the toll road here.
I would say so, especially on this part of the tollway. There are not a whole lot of exits between where this driver is right now and the next available opportunity to get off.
Especially after you get past the lemon exit.
Right. So that gives law enforcement, and there's the lemon exit. That gives law enforcement the ability to really kind of get some ground there. I believe the next exit isn't until Lover's Lane.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to get off at Lemon Avenue. Okay, for those of you, we are
jumped off at Lemon Avenue.
So we're now headed. There was another attempt at that spiking right there on the.
So the driver jumped off.
Yeah,
at Lemon Avenue.
This is in front of the Whole Foods. This is my old neck of the woods. So now we're traveling on, I believe this is Hawthorne Street in the Highland Park area of Dallas. So now we are moving into Highland Park. The tollway is going to be to the left here. This is the area just adjacent to the Oaklawn and Lemon Avenue corridor.
Can you see if the vehicle is slowed any?
Not at all. I mean, look, you can see that this vehicle, which we're told is driven by a woman, is still driving at a pretty good rate of speed. We are now in Highland Park.
So it's possible that the front left tire may have been spiked by sheriff's deputies. That's why I'm asking you if we can see it all.
We did see that attempt by sheriff's deputies to spike this vehicle as it took the Lemon Avenue exit off of Dallas North Tollway.
Right.
It doesn't look like it has had too much effect on her speed. This is Lomo Alto.
They're on Lomo Alto at this moment.
Driving through the Highland Park
at a high rate of speed
of Dallas, driving through Highland Park, which is of course its own city. There is an opportunity to get onto the tollway again if the driver so chooses. If not, you're going to be coming up on a pretty congested area. You're talking about the shops at Highland Park Village. You're talking about Preston Road. You're talking about a middle of the day late lunch crowd.
And so if they're going the speed of about 50 right now, that's about 20 miles over the speed limit in that area. And I still can't...
So we just crossed Mockingbird, it looks like.
I still can't tell if that left tire is indeed hit.
If there were one that was going to be, that of course would be it. You saw just a few moments ago. We seem to be slowing down now.
Right.
I don't know if the driver is running out of options, maybe less familiar with the area, but you can see that not only the driver but the police in pursuit slowing down quite significantly here.
Steve, it is possible now that left tire was hit at Lemon. Okay, they're going to get in front of them here.
This is going to be the end right here.
It's coming to a stop right here. The vehicle stopped at this point. You will have officers get out with weapons drawn. Okay. And we're going to see if the doors on that vehicle open or if the police approach. You have a deputy in front of the vehicle. You have at least two that we can see right under those
trees.
branches. But the doors have not opened on that vehicle. The windows have not cracked. Officers have their weapons drawn.
Yeah, you can see the officers on the left-hand side. We're going to keep the screen as clean as possible for you so that you can get as much picture as you can. We are still in the Highland Park area of town here.
And Steve, for officers...
And here we go. The
doors open. Doors open.
Okay, hands are up.
We see hands up.
Okay, it does
It's
look
a
like
woman.
it's a female. Okay, so female driver confirmed.
And
Her
now
hands
this
are up.
is what you call a felony stop. They're having her back towards them. They're giving her verbal commands, hands up, back up. Officer's going to take her down now at this moment. You
There we
see
go.
it move
That's
in.
one arm. That's two. She's cuffed. Okay.
And now they're going to make sure there's no one else in the vehicle.
We should expect perhaps the trunk to open.
They want to see who's in it, if there's
Right.
anyone first in the passenger or back seats. She is taken into custody. Trunk is up.
All right, let's recap for you as we head toward 1:30 right now. You are looking at what is now the conclusion of a breaking news situation we've been telling you about for about the last hour. This all started with the call of a stolen vehicle in downtown Fort Worth. We can confirm for you now that the driver that you've been watching for the last hour is a female who was behind the wheel of that yellow car that you see right in the center of your screen. This sometimes high-speed chase traveled through several different North Texas cities before it came to a final stop here in Highland Park. The woman now in the center of your screen, you can see in custody. We will, of course, continue to keep a close eye on this story. Details and updates available not only at fox4news.com, but when you follow us on social media, much more for you on Fox 4 News starting today at 5 o'clock.
This has been